Welcome to First Wing, a Fourth Wing podcast.
I'm Brianna, and this is the start of my Iron Flame journey.
And I'm Kendra, an experienced dragon rider here to help the second year. Just a quick note, this book contains explicit content, including swearing, sex, violence, and death, and so will this podcast. This episode won't have any specific violence or death, but...
Yep.
Yeah.
Today we are discussing chapters 17 and 18. We ended last week's episode when she arrived to go see Xaden, but he was in the operations center and she didn't have clearance.
Which
and then
was
we
like
just
that.
skip right past that. We don't spend any more time with her there, which is fair because if we're not seeing Xaden, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But I thought something more would happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and isn't that he was basically set up to not be available, so she couldn't see him as part of it. Was sort of like what Varish threatened, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so starting chapter 17, it starts with this blurb, which I believe is something she's reading from one of her books that she's like taken out from the library. And it says, many historians choose to ignore the sacrifices made by both humans and dragonkind to establish Navarre under the first wards in favor of praising the spirit of unification. But I would be remiss not to mention the losses suffered, both in terms of the ancestral hatching grounds of each dragon breed and the civilians who did not survive the continent-wide migration that resulted from the opening of Navarre's borders, or those lost when we closed them. And that was the sacrifice of dragonkind.
Yes. We keep on bringing up the ancestral hatchling grounds. Like, this is, what, the fourth time so far? Like, they keep on coming up, but not, like, obviously.
Yeah, because they mentioned it about the green dragons, I think, in the last couple of chapters. Maybe,
yeah.
Like, she's like, when she was reciting those things.
And I think even at the beginning of this book, they're like, oh, yeah, like, the black dragons used to have hatching grounds here. Yeah. Or the line that Terran came from. I don't know if they're all black dragons.
Because we're talking about here, each dragon breed has its own hatching grounds, and now they're all united into one hatching ground.
Yeah, and then we learned about the ones that have them along the Esben Mountains.
But not anymore. That's where they used to have.
Yes, had them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we keep on, like, hearing about this, and I'm like, okay, so I feel like this is so going to be important for how the wards, something about the wards. Because that's what we're trying to figure out. And if it's not the wards, then it's going to be something about whatever the bad guys, well, semi-bad guys are after. The Porish,
Promish.
The Promish guys.
If you can call them bad guys.
Yeah, that's why I said ish.
Yeah.
I mean, they are still
causing
totally
trouble,
okay with, like, killing Navarian citizens. But they're also trying to save their own skin. So.
Yeah. And it kind of mentions them here, right?
Yeah.
Because it's saying that, like, once they closed the borders, there were those lost.
Yeah, and I'm like, lost to the venom? Like, is that what that's basically hinting at?
That's what I would think.
Yeah.
But why is it saying it right here? And what are other people thinking when they see that we
right.
lost?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
This is like the closest to a hint of venom that these books are going to give, basically.
Yeah. Exactly. So we find out in the beginning of this chapter that Bodhi has moved maneuvers for their section. And he keeps doing it. And Imogen's bringing it up because she's like, hey, if he keeps doing this, there's going to be a lot of... People are going to just be, like, wondering more than just Varish, right?
Yeah. Also, I thought that it was, like, Terran doing this whole time, but it was Bodhi.
Yeah, because he did say something in the last chapters or the chapters before.
Something like that. After her...
When she had the burnout.
Yeah, he was like, I'll handle the dragon matters or whatever. But then again, it's like, okay, but is he doing anything?
Well, he's doing something, because this next line says Tarn is going to the Empyrean about Indarna. But again, what can they do?
Yeah. I'm like, how long does that take? It's been a week and a half since he said he was going to handle it. But, like, how long does this council take? Why aren't they still not doing anything?
Have, like, bureaucracy is like red tape and has to go through one person, and then the secretary has to get back to him.
Do they only meet every, like, fortnight? Like, why hasn't...
I don't know. And again, like, I was saying, like, what could they do? But the truth is, like you pointed out, and it might have been a couple episodes ago, there's, like, the dragons could put out basically a thing where, like, the dragons of the guys in charge basically tell them, like, you need to lay off. This is Dragon Matters.
And Darna's not coming out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. She's not coming out of the closet. Okay.
Yeah, like, they could just really be like, no, and per the Empyreans, that she's not coming out.
I guess that just brings so many questions, that opens the door to what secrets are you holding. And again, did Taryn not say that we don't trust the humans and the humans don't trust us?
Right, but
we
just
tell
don't
each other
answer
everything?
their questions.
I know, but you know when you're like telling someone that there's something they don't know that's a secret, and you've got someone like Varish who's got intense
Okay, but
power.
what if they just lie and say she was injured? Like, haven't they not seen her since they went to the battle?
That's what I was saying. Like
they
she has a rare dragon disease. They've got her quarantined because they don't want to spread it among
and then
all
when
the
she comes back in a different color, it would make so much more sense. The disease, it turned her a different color.
Into a larger
No, we just gave her a different dragon.
I know. Right. That's the big question that you've had from the beginning, is how the heck is this going to go?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So back to the chapter, because we've only gotten 2 paragraphs in, not even big paragraphs. Imogen asks Violet, so they're on their way to Battle Brief, right? She's like, how are things with Xaden? And Violet's like, you want to talk about my relationship with Xaden? Like, how is this normal, right? And she's like, I'm only giving you until it takes us to get to Battle Brief. So you got to talk fast. This is your only chance, since you're not talking to your friends, basically, right?
Yeah.
And she does say, which is a mistake, she doesn't agree with this whole don't talk to friends thing. So Violet basically is just saying, like, basically I haven't seen him at all. They've been keeping us apart, right?
Yes.
He did leave a letter, but, you know, and then she says, like, in the letter, he kind of basically insinuated that they're keeping him. They're doing this on purpose, too.
Yeah, which is pretty clear.
Yeah. She does mention the letter to us as being, like, it was, like, time before the rebellion. She got to kind of hear, like, how Xaden was before things got rough, right?
Yeah.
And she was wondering, like, how he'd be now if that didn't, you know, if all that stuff didn't happen to him.
Yeah.
And then when Imogen says that's weird, Violet thinks she's talking about, like, separating them and how whatever, and she's like, no, I mean, separating them is super smart. I mean, obviously they want to do that. You guys are both, you know, capable of terrifying things, and together you would just be a disaster, right? She's like, no, it's weird that he's writing you letters. And she's like, I think it's sweet. And Imogen's like, exactly. Does he strike you as a letters kind of guy? He's not even a talking kind of guy. Anyways, so then they're getting close, right? And Imogen's like, are you going to let him off the hook for keeping you in the dark? Mm-hmm. And then she says, can you love someone who refuses to be open with you? And Imogen says, one, we're not talking about my love life. I have Quinn, my actual friend, for that.
I know. And I was like, oh, shut up. You and Violet are definitely friends.
It sure seems that way, right?
Yeah.
And then she says, we keep information classified all the time. You'd have the same problem with any writer you dated. And then, this is funny. So this whole conversation, when I was reading this again, I was like, yeah, this is exactly what we've been saying, what you've been saying. You know what I mean? Like, this, we've been wanting someone to say this to Violet that wasn't Xaden, right? Because she's not listening to Xaden. And because she thinks, fine, she has a point, but she's missing mine. Yeah,
I'm like, she has a great point. Like, she's an incredible point. But then what Violet says, I'm like, whatever.
It's a funny example. Like, one day, like, she says, let's say you're with someone, one day a battle axe comes hurtling out of his armoire. And then I love how Imogen's just interrupting her, like, armoire? I wish you would go back to confiding to Rhiannon. She's like, in her head, she's like, God, this is so dumb. Get a life, girl. Imogen's one of those people who have no, what's it called? No tolerance for anything other than just fuck it, get it done. You know what I mean? Like, no whining, no whatever. She's like almost like a black and white, you know, right? Like, like, just listen, is that or isn't? Like, just decide and move on, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, and so Violet continues, like, okay, so about this battle axe, she's like, and it nearly kills you. Wouldn't you demand to see the rest of the armoire to make sure there's no other battle axes, you know, about to kill you?
Yeah.
And then she answers, there's always a battle axe.
I know. And I'm also like, okay, well, that's also a really good point. I mean, you guys are living life on the edge constantly.
Which is what she says here. She's like, you didn't want normal. If you did, you'd be in a relationship with Ados or help anyone else in this place. But you wanted Ryerson. If you didn't think the man was hiding more than a few battle axes, then you're mad at the wrong person because you lied to yourself. And I was like, get it.
Yes.
Like, thank you. These are the words I wanted to say.
Yeah. Thank God Imogen's there.
Yep. And she, like, by her reaction, Violet opening and shutting her mouth goes to show that she's also
flabbergasted.
Yeah. And then Imogen's like so happy. She's like, oh, look, our time's up. We're here. But she does give some advice. She says, everyone fails Nav the first time.
Yeah. I kind of got that impression because I remember asking, like, I was just editing last week's episode. And I asked after they said you guys failed, I was like, well, were they the first one to try? Like, did anyone else pass yet? Because I was like, I feel like no.
Right.
Like, maybe they were the top projected 2, maybe. complete it, but it seemed like a very, very, very hard task to get right your first time when they've never done land navigation, and they're given 2 different maps.
Yeah.
So
they were proving a point, which is that you guys don't know as much as you think you do. And she even says here, we're egotistical assholes who can't handle being wrong.
Yeah.
The instructor just wants you to feel bad about it, which is clearly working.
Yes.
Which is, again, her way to say, get over the fact that you guys failed. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then she says, you need to worry more about surviving the rest of RSC, including the interrogation portions where they will beat the shit out of you for fun. Or, like, I don't know, going to war. But yeah, no, I mean, interrogation with all the stuff that Violet has in her head. Jesus.
Right. Also, like, is Imogen allowed to tell her that? I mean, I guess she kind of knows.
Did bring up that there's going to be interrogation, remember?
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know, maybe she wasn't supposed to bring it up, but she did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, and you asked if I wanted to talk about your relationship, which implies that you damn well know you're still in one. And then she says you don't have to freeze out everyone, right? And in this part, she's basically saying, you know, Xaden does that, and it's not a good thing. It doesn't even work for him. It's not a good solution.
Yeah, she's saying, like, maybe that's his solution, but that doesn't mean it's the right solution. And I agree. I agree.
So then she points out that Rhiannon needs a friend. And Violet sees Rhiannon, like, looking at a piece of paper and looking not happy.
Yeah.
And so she goes down there. Tara's with Rhiannon. And basically what Rhiannon has is this parchment that she got with a letter from her parents that morning. They said it was circling around the village. And it says, beware of strangers seeking shelter.
I know. And I was like, strangers like Paromish citizens? Yeah.
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 In this time of unprecedented violations of our sovereign borders, we count on you, our border villages, to be our eyes and ears. Our safety depends on your vigilance. Do not take in strangers. Your kindness could kill.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Like, what's really
up.
happening here?
I agree with kind of what Violet says later, which, like, this is not a helpful warning. This is a threat.
Yeah.
This is like, we gave orders, and now if we find out that you are not listening to them, now we have grounds to kill you, punish you, call you a traitor.
Yeah, because what if Paromish villagers are coming across the border? See, why are they coming across the border? We know why.
Because they need to be inside the wards.
Yeah, because of the venom. So then what are they going to tell these Navarian citizens?
Yeah.
It's the fastest way to get this word out that they don't want to get out.
I mean, we're getting to this in a second. They're going to call it propaganda and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god,
I know.
Sickening.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, unfortunately Markham, she did say she was going to give it to him afterwards, but unfortunately he sees it right in the beginning and grabs it.
Yeah, it does kind of make it look bad.
Yeah, I know. And then they go to take their seats, and she does, Violet tries to kind of, like, you know, I don't know, change the subject and ask Rhiannon how her parents are doing. And they're talking about how their shop is booming, and because a whole bunch of more people came to Montserrat, like specifically a company of infantry.
Yeah, and
somehow Violet is keeping track of all this stuff because she just knows that puts the outpost at more than capacity because Violet knows everything.
I mean, her and her mom and dad and sister, they weren't always at Baz.
They moved all around, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, she's been to probably not border places, but she's been to different outposts and stuff, so it's not too weird for her to, like, understand how, like, have more reality on how it works, which would make it easier for her to keep track of it.
Was Montserrat the one that they went to visit and Mira was there? Oh, okay. I was like, wait, which one was that?
I was like, I wonder what's happening there that's making them send so much more. I'm guessing just more border attacks by
it's up in
Griffin flyers.
It's up by the Esben Mountains, the northern part of the Esben Mountains.
Yeah.
It is close to the border, but not anywhere near as close as, like, Samara.
Yeah.
Or Somerton or Asbine. Athabine.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, cool. So yeah, so she's noting that as something that's weird, right?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah. So then we get Markham, and I can hear, like, without having to hear his voice, I can hear the disdain and the, like, I don't know, pompous assholeness coming out of this, and it just makes me grow, like, bleh, the whole time. But he's like, we're going to talk about basically propaganda, is what he's talking about here. But it does mention here that Professor Devara is standing with her arms crossed and her eyes downcast as he's reading that parchment that he got. Yeah.
And he she continues to look a little unsettled throughout all of this. And I'm like, is she like acting? Like, is this her acting, or is she actually like feeling some type of guilt or suspicion or something? It's not really clear. I mean, I feel like the more it's mentioned, the more I think it's she's not acting, like it's actually how she's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they wouldn't keep mentioning it, I would say.
And somewhere in this whole thing, Violet also is going, gosh, I hope
Yeah.
Professor Devara is not like in on this. Like,
Yeah.
she would like to believe that she wouldn't be keeping that secret or wouldn't be in agreement, you know?
Yeah. I know, but
can you be not in agreement though? Like, I'm just saying, let's
That's
say
what
you
I'm
find out
saying.
and you're like, this is not okay. You try to talk to management or leadership,
And then
they're
say,
just like, you better keep your whatever, or you are dead.
Yep.
I mean, what do you do at that point?
Yeah.
You keep your mouth shut, or you try to find out there's a secret rebellion. And you join them. Yeah, I mean, so it's hard to say one way or the other. If she does or she doesn't, does that make her a bad person, you know?
I know, but the fact that she seems to be feeling something about this.
Yeah, it's definitely noted here.
Yeah.
Right. Markham mentions it's a regional notice, meaning like it's not something that I guess the main military has put out. It's just that region put it out.
I think he's trying to excuse the reason why he doesn't have an official
public
announcement number, because I think those go into official records.
Maybe.
And this is not really going into an official record, and he's just trying to like excuse that away. I don't know. That's kind of what I got from him saying that.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah. He does say we have seen an alarming number of attempted border crossings into the mountain villages near our most strategic outposts. So then he goes to kind of like doing this as a battle brief where he asks the different cadets what they think about this and all that. And they're saying things like, you know, basically they could be dangerous. And, you know, the whole idea is that the whole idea that he's pushing here is like, you're bringing the enemy in. They could be spies. They could be trying to infiltrate us. It could be whatever, you know?
Yeah. Not just trying to get to safety.
Yeah. She's thinking here, like, when did we close our borders? As soon as we unified, or closer to 400 AU, which is when she thinks that they wiped the history from the books? It's an interesting question.
Yeah.
And she's just frustrated here. And her frustration is adding up to, like, intense heat going on.
Yeah. She's having trouble controlling her powers.
Yeah. There's another notice here of Devara shifting her weight and lifting her chin. And this is when she's like, I really hope she doesn't know. What about Kaori? What about Materio and Grady? Like, are any of my professors trustworthy?
Probably not.
I just think you go with the fact that they're not, and you're safer.
Yeah.
He brings up that the Paromish people are coming with them. Well, he says falsified announcements from their own leadership of cities being destroyed in what they claim to be violent attacks. Attacks they claim to come from dragons. And Violet's like, fucking liar.
Yep. Yeah, because that makes it sound so unbelievable. Like, they know, well, the dragons wouldn't just go attacking Paromish cities.
Yeah, like they think that's completely ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
which is why he says that, because we know he knows, right? I mean, we're pretty sure he knows. He has to know.
No, he definitely knows.
Yeah. But then he mentions like, oh, but see, we are really, you know, we're not mean people. So we sent in these like missions, classified missions to go in and see if it's actually true. And they came back saying, no, they're all intact. Who's being sent?
I don't think anyone was sent.
Either no one's sent, or there's very specific people that they have that know and could be the ones that are sent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, they might send people just so they can know how close the Venin are getting. I mean, that would be what smart people do.
Yeah.
But otherwise, why send them if you're gonna lie? Doesn't matter what the truth is.
Yeah, they could totally work it all out so it looks like it's all being done that way. They could have reports written. They definitely have reports written because Professor Devara said she read the reports. Again, who cares? That doesn't mean anything. But she read the reports, quote unquote, and there was no destruction mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I wonder if they were written weird, or if they were written specifically, or if things seem to be redacted from them, and this is why Devara is being weird. Or if this is just not really related.
Yeah. Who knows? Okay, good. So then we finish the briefing. It doesn't go into more about what he's saying because it's probably just more bullshit. But the whole time Violet is about to explode. So the minute she can, she like runs down the hallway, goes outside and like rips out the power and like lightning strikes, etc. But Rhiannon has followed her because Rhiannon's a good friend. And she is like, what's happening? Are you okay? And of course, Violet's like, I'm fine.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. But she's like, I have to go. I'll be late for RSC. Will you take notes? And then Rand's like, because that's definitely the class you should be late for.
Yeah.
What could be possibly more important than learning interrogation techniques? And she's just like, I can't take it. So she runs off. She runs off into the dormitory, down the steps, through the tunnels, across the bridge, into the healer's quadrant, and I guess that means like past the healer's quadrant through the archives.
Yeah, for a second I thought she was running to the healer's quadrant, and I was like, oh, like, are we gonna see Nolan? I mean, yeah, but later. But no, it was just that's how she gets to the archives. I forgot that that's the path that you take.
Yeah. Yeah, so she just runs there. I think it's just because it's like the only thing she knows what to do. She's like, if anything else, I can do this. This is all I can do for the revolution right now, right?
Yeah.
So she just lets herself get brought there, and then she realizes, oops, that wasn't smart. There's a whole bunch of cadets staring at her.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the day, like in the middle of class.
Yeah, and they're like, what are you doing here? They're kind of like, this is closed right now. And then Jasenia basically gets up and signs to her, like, professor or whoever was there, like, this is basically an arrogant writer. She is not good with no. I'll go handle her.
Yeah, it'll be quicker if
I just handle it. Yeah. Anyways, Jasenia's a little bit like, oh my gosh, you can't do this.
Yeah.
It is Saturday only, you know. And she says, Violet is like, I need to read faster. And then Jasenia says or signs, I asked what you were looking for, but I should have asked what will happen if you don't find it. And Violet's answer is, people will die. That's all I can say. So then Jasenia responds with, have you at least told your squad mates whatever it is you're too scared to tell me? And Violet says, no, I can't let anyone else die because of me. I've already put you into too much danger. Jasenia gives some words of wisdom here.
Yeah.
Some signs of wisdom. You gave me a choice. Don't you think they deserve the same?
Yeah.
And then no answer to that, but she says, I'll bring you a new selection tonight. Meet me at the bridge at 8. Saturdays, Violet, or you'll get us caught. Yeah. And she's like, okay, thank you. So that's the end of that chapter.
Yep.
Okay. Chapter 18. We have this blurb. It says, it was only when we pushed the wards to their true limits, extending them far past what we first thought possible and to what I now question as sustainable, that we defined the borders of Navarre, regretfully knowing not every citizen would benefit from their protection. Wait a second. Have they communicated why the borders were put up in the first place?
Yeah, what are they what do we think we're being protected from? I mean, they do say that,
well, there's some Navarrian villages outside the border. I just realized that. Maybe they're just talking about Navarre, not Premio. Yeah. Because if you look like, oh no, I don't think it shows you, but
no, we know this.
We know that there's some places outside of the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do know that it's like hard for the Griffin flyers to get through. Wait, what? This doesn't make any sense. In the first book, they talk about how it's hard for them to break through the wards.
Yeah.
And that the wards are protecting us from these bad guys who are coming to pillage the village or whatever.
Pillage the village?
Yeah, pillage the villages.
They also talk about how it's hard, like, for them to get up into, like, the higher...
well, that's
when
just
they go to
because
Arisha.
That's just because the Griffins are supposed to be bad with...
heights. Elevation. High elevation. And which is why... isn't that why they said why Arisha? Because Arisha's outside the borders. Why maybe Arisha is...
Yeah, they said that the Griff... Yeah. Because of all the cliffs there, Tyrrendor in general is supposed to be safe outside the borders because the Griffins shouldn't be able to fly over those cliffs.
Yeah, and also when they flew to Montserrat that one time with the whole class, they go past the borders and she's like, oh, that feels weird. Wasn't that the first time we felt that?
So my question is, if it's hard for the Griffin flyers to get through to attack, how is it easy for the Promish citizens to walk across the border?
I don't think it stops. I don't think...
like you need magic? It's stopping magic attacks?
It stops people. It stops the magic of the Griffins.
Okay.
And it stops the powers of the Venom or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this little blurb that I read has this long thing about saying what its name is, and it's interesting. So it's called The Journey of the First Six, right? Yeah. Which is a secondhand account, just saying. It was written by the first curator of the Scribe Quadrant, and then it's translated, after that, it's translated like 12 curators later into what is now the common language. So at some point, the common language, everything was translated into that. And then 15 curators later, that's a lot of years. It's translated and redacted for academic consumption. So it's I just found that fascinating.
Yeah, it was definitely changed. I'm guessing it was heavily changed throughout this.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. Okay, the first line in chapter 18 says, "You're early." Violet bursts when Xaden opens the door Saturday morning.
I know, I was so happy. It's just been too many chapters.
You were going through Xaden withdrawals?
Yeah, I was like, is he ever going to come back?
Yeah. She is sitting on the floor surrounded by every history text she owns, plus the two that Jasenia lent her. Mm-hmm. And she is thinking, oh shit, he's here early, but I have to meet her in an hour. She's got to meet her, right?
Yeah.
So that's on her mind through a lot of this conversation. She's like, sorry, I just wasn't expecting you to make it until noon, and you look exhausted. And he's like, that's what every man wants to hear. Oh, and then she says, I didn't say you aren't beautiful. I implied that you need a nap. And then he, of course, says, you think I'm beautiful? But his slow smile stops her heart. Oh. He also smells, and he should take a bath. And then he says, Gods, I missed you. And he laughs, rips off his flight jacket, revealing the short sleeves of his summer uniform and indecently toned arms. And then she's like, trying to keep herself from forgetting every single worry by just laying him out on the floor and doing something with him, right?
There's a bed right there. What is their problem with beds?
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Why the floor? She's already got books all over the floor. It's not like the books are all over the bed.
Right.
Jesus. Anyways, he's thinking like, okay, good. So I can take a bath. Are they going to be upset at me for doing that? Because he's not really supposed to be in that chamber. I'm sure they have somewhere else for visiting lieutenants to go. It's not inside where the second year, right, or cadets are,
Yeah.
And she's like, it's never bothered you before, breaking the rules or anything. And he's like, yeah, I didn't say it bothers me now. I just don't want to see you punished for my actions. I thought they were going to find a way to send you on maneuvers today or just lock you away. And she's like, yeah, me too. I'm sure they'll find a dark cellar for you next week, so we should try to enjoy this one. And then he's like, you and I have different definitions of the word enjoy. She says, not really. I think spending the day tangled up in that bed together would be enjoyable, but since you drew your line, here I am with boring, sexless books.
That's really funny.
I know. And he's like, say those 3 little words.
Yeah, now she'll say I want you, which before she wouldn't even say that. So, she's coming around.
She is. He's like, those are not the 3 words I need. And why aren't your shields up?
Yeah.
Her excuse is that, it's just them in there, but he's like, whatever. So it's funny how he's like, okay, I'll be right back. And she's like, you don't really smell, because she doesn't want him to leave. And he's like, yeah, no, I do. So he goes and takes his shower. And then he comes back a paragraph later. It was really fast. Mm-hmm. And then he asks about the books, which she's like, her and books is not a surprise, really. So he's not particularly suspicious here.
Yeah, not yet.
But she does say this, which I think we mentioned in the first episode about her room and her stuff. But she says, most of these are from my room, right, in the main college. She said, I created them I created them before Parapet and thought my mother would have shipped them off to storage, but it appears she's more sentimental than Mira or I thought. They were right where I left them.
Yeah. And it said it had been a surprising discovery. Nothing had been touched in my old room like I was expected back any minute. Which is interesting because the Book of Fables was in that room. And luckily, Mira grabbed it and was able to give it to her in Montserrat. But it doesn't even look like her mom looked through. Or... That's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, thank God Mira took it. Like, they totally would have found it. Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
It just would have been a delay when she could have gotten a hold of it. But... I don't know. It's like really surprised me. I was like, I really thought all her stuff was going to be gone or moved or...
And I guess in the first year she couldn't go back, but in second year they've got more privileges and she was able to go back to her room.
Yeah, you're only allowed the stuff that you can take across the parapet in your first year. But then I guess in your second year you can have any possessions you want.
I guess so.
Yeah. Anything that can fit in your room.
Yeah. He starts reading off some, the titles, right?
Uh-huh.
And he reads off the one that is, I believe, one that she needs to return to Jasenia.
Yeah.
Actually, she's getting a little nervous.
The one that we were just
the same one. Oh, yes, it's the same exact one, yeah. And then she's worried about this, and then she's like, I should have hidden the damn books. I mean, she had all that time he went and took a shower.
Yeah.
And then Taryn's like, or maybe you want him to know. And she goes, go be busy.
Yeah. Isn't Sigale here? Go away.
Yeah, that's right. What the heck?
I think that's why it's ... be busy.
Taryn doesn't ever tell her when they arrive.
Yeah.
Xaden just walks in the door. I think
this bothers me too.
He just loves it. He's just like, She'll find out. Let her be surprised.
I wish that he would tell her these things more often.
Yeah.
Like, it was like when Xaden just popped up in Montserrat when she went for like her 5-day trip.
Yeah.
And like Tara must have known for miles that they were coming.
And he pops up outside of Rhiannon's house where they had sneaked out. Like,
I know. And I'm like, Tara, you couldn't give like any warning.
He would probably say, I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
I don't care about that, you know?
Or maybe Sigale is like, no, it's funnier like this.
Probably. They're like, let's see what happens. Anyways, so Xaden starts getting suspicious. He's like, what is this, a class assignment? I don't remember ever reading about the first 6. And then he goes, you're hiding something from me. And we have been told several times that she's horrible at lying.
Yeah.
She must have something in her face that gives things away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, Violet, why are you researching the first 6? And she says, for Orisha. For you, really.
Ooh, she shouldn't have said that. That's what makes him the most mad.
I know. He thinks she should just be taking care of herself. So he's mad here because he's like, Brennan told you we have a ward stone. I'm going to fucking kill him. And she's like, why? Because he's more forthcoming with me than you are. Relax. It's not like he gave me your journal or anything. And then he's like, well, I don't have a journal.
He's also like, I wish that is what he gave you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess this must be partially what motivates Xaden not wanting to tell her anything. Like, this makes me think, like, is it that he doesn't trust her? Is it that, you know, she's bad at shielding and she's around Adis all the time? Or is it because he doesn't want her involved and she will start doing things?
Right.
She will get involved.
She's the kind of person
Yeah.
who just dives headfirst into like something.
Yeah.
Because she cares more about, oh my gosh, this is like, sorry, that just, in my head as I'm saying this, I want everybody to know this is how my thoughts go. I'm like, she's a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
I didn't say that out loud. I was trying to keep it to myself. And then I was about to say, like, she'll do anything for her friends. And I was like, oh my god, it's Percy Jackson. So my fandoms are coming together.
It's like main characters have these traits.
That's true. That's true. It is. Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I think you're right. I think he is worried about that. So he says, digging around for information on Navarre's most classified defense will get you killed. And she says, civilians are fleeing our borders. No one in Navarre knows the truth, and Orisha needs to defend itself to protect the people I'm guessing you're prepared to take in when Venin inevitably reach Tyrandor. Tyrandor? My goodness. Tyrandor. Thank you. She's like, you are going to take people in, right? And he's like, of course we are. And she's like, good. He's like, well, it's weapons that we need, which is what he's doing, right? And she's like, no, I beg to differ. Like, I'm going to keep researching until I figure out how those wards got in place, you know? Because she still knows that ward stone's, well, she obviously knows that ward stone's there. And
yeah.
Would like to figure out how to activate it.
Yeah. She wants more wards activated in Orisha. And I'm guessing she's thinking that they can maybe even be expanded into Promiel. But even if not, they could just take people in there and they also won't be, you know, open to Venin attacks.
Yeah, right.
Because here's the thing, wyverns can totally cross those cliffs. They're not protected. They'll just fly right over the cliffs. They're coming for them.
Coming for you.
Yeah.
So Xaden is saying like, well, that, you know, that technology has all been lost. And she's like, no, there's no way. There's no way that there's not some record how to do this in case it fail. You know, we're not going to destroy the only thing that could save us. We would hide it, but we wouldn't destroy it. And he says, and how the hell do you propose finding that record without letting the scribes know what you're up to?
And she's like,
and of course, this is her not being able to keep anything. And he's like, I like how like he gets kind of like take a deep breath, close his eyes. He's like trying to figure out how not to explode, you know?
Yeah.
And he says, the book you're clutching like a newborn, it's not one of yours, is it? And she's like, it's currently in my possession. And he's like, Violet? You know? And she's like, she says she can practically feel him counting to 10 in his head. And she's like, fine, I borrowed it from the archives. Are you really going to yell at me for trying to help? And he's like, who knows? When I first read that, I thought he was like saying, who knows? Like if he's going to yell at her. And I was like, well, you probably know. And then I realized he's asking her, who knows?
Who knows if I will?
Anyways.
Oh my god.
So yeah, he's basically finding out here that she has told a scribe and he's like, oh my fucking god. That is the heart of the enemy here, you know?
And then he wants to come with her.
Yes.
To go return the book. And I'm like, that is going to draw way more attention.
Right, because you're the known possible rebellion, not Violet.
Right? Like,
except for
I'm
she's
just
meeting
thinking,
her
like, if Varish catches the two of them in the archives together.
with a scribe, but they don't go to the archives, right?
No,
Or
they
do
do.
they? Oh, I thought they met at some...
Oh, wait, no.
Let's-
Maybe. No, they do. They do.
They do, okay. Oh, that's right, because they walk by the sleeping scribe who's
Yes.
not paying attention.
Yes, they do go there. But I'm just like, this is a terrible idea. Like, you should be able to see that this is a terrible idea, Xaden.
Xaden
But
doesn't know.
Jasinia's like, even like when they meet, she's, or maybe it's not Jasinia. Maybe it's Nolan. Or at some point, they're saying like, well, of course they're together. They always are trying to be
That's
together
Nolan, yeah.
for the only time that they're allowed to be together.
So it could be that. You're saying it could be
They
he's
could
like,
just think that. Like,
Yeah.
anyone who sees them together could just think like, well, this is the only time they get together. Of
Yeah,
course, they're
it's
going to
possible.
be with each other.
Yeah, it's possible. Okay, good. Yeah, she's basically saying, no, you're going to scare her because you're scary. He doesn't like the fact that she's putting herself in danger. But then we get Rhiannon interrupting here, and her and I think Riddick and maybe Sawyer too is wanting to ask them to come to Shantara with them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like Hogsmeade for Hogwarts. And then they have this whole conversation in their head, which is this whole
So funny.
argument. And it's so funny because they're doing this while their friends are just standing outside the door, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, I've done everything that you've asked, including keeping this for my friends, so don't be an asshole to them. Oh, this is because right before that, he's like, she's busy.
Yeah.
And they wanted to ask for her. And he's like, exactly what I've asked by keeping your research a secret. And she's like, are you really going to stand here and compare secrets with me? He's like, it's not the same. She's like, it's exactly the same.
I'm like, it's pretty much the same. Like, it is pretty much exactly the same.
Right. She thinks to herself, how fucking dare he? She's like, I'm researching the words for you. And he's like, well, why do you think I'm so angry? And she's like, because you don't like being on the other side of secrets? And then Sawyer's like, what the hell's going on? Because they're just standing there staring at each other. Right? Just imagine
But
this.
we keep on hearing about their body language, so, like, basically, this is what's happening.
Okay.
She glares. He leans down. Her jaw drops. He winces. She grips the strap of her bag, which I guess is normal. Tension in his eyes and his posture and his tone, so they look very tense.
Yeah. And,
And then they're like, what is happening?
And then Riddick's like, I think they're fighting. And then Rhiannon's like, they're not even speaking. Anyways, all that's happening, whatever.
And then
Violet
she
finishes
says,
this. Yeah. He says, how long have you been hiding this from me? And she says, I haven't hidden shit from you. I've simply told you selective truths.
Yeah, which is exactly what he said to her.
Mm-hmm.
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 Ooh.
She should have said, like, what you don't know is better for you.
Yeah.
In case you get taken and tortured.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah, so then they ask her about going to Shantara or whatever. Maybe they asked earlier, but she's like, I can't right now. And then she's like, maybe next weekend. And then Zane's like, you'll be in Samara, because he's, still being an asshole.
Yeah.
And she's like, how is it possible to both love someone and loathe them all at the same moment? And then Rhiannon's like, okay, the weekend afterwards.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'm fine, I promise. You guys have a great time. I'll let you know if I need your help burying a body later. Because Rhiannon's a little bit like, I'm your friend. You look stressed out.
Yeah.
Right? Do I need to? And I love this because, well, first of all, Riddick sputters into a cough and Sawyer has to pound him in the back because,
I know.
she's basically talking about killing Xaden right next to Xaden and everybody's scared of Xaden, right?
This is the best interaction.
Yeah. So Rhiannon says, I think she might mean you, to Xaden. And he's like, I'm certain she does. And then Sawyer's sort of like, let's get out of here. But then Rhiannon says, I'll do it too. I've never moved anything as big as you, but I bet my signet could put you in a ground without even disturbing the dirt if I'm pissed enough.
I know. What an amazing friend.
I know. And he says, you have some loyal friends.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then she says, just remember, you said that when it comes time to tell them what's going on under their noses. So she does have that thought, right?
Yeah, like one day. I mean, one day it's gonna come out because one day the Venice is gonna start attacking their borders. Be real.
Yeah. Anyways, Violet says, okay, fine, you can come with me as long as you don't scare her. And his answer is, I can't control her feelings. He's like, I just want to meet her. And she's like, so you can see if she's trustworthy by looking at her? Even you aren't that powerful. And then he says, I'll know. I'm an incredible judge of character. Yeah. She's like, your ego's really boundless. Anyways, so they head out. He kind of puts his hand on the small of her back. And she's sort of like, you don't have to touch me for them to know, for them to like think you have a reason to be here and all that. And she's like, everyone knows that and he's like, knows that we what? You've been pretty damn clear that we're not together. And she's like, wait, is that hurt in his voice? I mean, come on, Violet.
Yes, he loves you.
Why is she acting like she doesn't know he's hurt?
Because he still hasn't told her that he loves her.
Oh, that's right. She does mention that. And I forgot that.
Yeah.
Like, what? How rude. He's like, you have to tell me that you love me first. Yeah.
He's being weird.
Men.
Men.
Jesus. She says, you would never sit here and do nothing when you can help. Asking me to do differently is just insulting. I'm smart enough to handle myself in the archives, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, he's just worried about it.
Yeah.
He also said Varys pushed you to near fucking burnout, and you didn't tell me about that either. So obviously Bodhi told him.
Or that you wielded in the middle of the courtyard after battle brief.
Yep. Yep, exactly. And she was like saying she hoped that Bodhi wouldn't, but he's like, that's the shit you need to tell me, Violet. She's like, what would you have done? Flown back here and killed him? He's the vice commandant. He's like, I debated it. And then she says Bodhi has miraculously found reasons for our squad to miss maneuvers. And then he asks the question we all have, how long is that going to work? We're twice as likely to find a solution if you tell me what's going on. And then suddenly, I guess Nolan's come out and he's like, put your shields back up. And she's sort of like, it's just Nolan. Like, she didn't think that's a problem, but
yeah,
whatever. We don't know.
We don't know.
But it's mentioned here that she's shocked by how much weight the mender has lost. His skin hangs as loosely as his black uniform, and his eyes are missing their usual spark when he tries to smile at me.
Yeah, this is messed up, whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Can't be good.
Yeah, he notices Xaden kind of being protective of Violet here, and Nolan is sort of, oh my god. Nolan is sort of like, did you draw back because you're under the assumption that I'm going to harm the young woman I've been mending for the last 6 years, Ryerson? Or is it that you think no one knows that you two spend all your time together on the days either of you have leave? Because I assure you, I would never endanger Violet, and everyone already knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, so she's asking what Nolan's doing there, and he says he's waiting for someone, and then he says, and I suppose I could use some rest. Oh, because she mentions he looks exhausted. He says, it's hard work mending a soul.
Yeah. What?
What indeed?
Like, why? Who says that so casually? What does that even mean?
And why does she not ask it?
I don't.
Does not even in her head, right? Does she?
So does she know what it means then?
I think so.
It says like, I can't tell if he's joking or not. That's what she thinks. So does she think he's joking?
He says, I've been at it for months now, which is this whole time that we've been noticing something going on, right?
Anyways, I was also worried that who he was meeting was Varish, but luckily he's not.
But who is he meeting?
Some random freaking...
No, it's not random. This is the same girl you keep forgetting about.
I know she's not random. I noted that that's Jack's friend.
Yeah,
but it's random to be meeting with her.
Right, that is random. Yeah. Why are we meeting with Carolyn Ashton?
Yes. So mending a soul, like I don't. What is that? I can't even. What does that even mean? Is it Jack? Is it Jack's soul? No, he was crushed by a mountain. I don't think that hurts your soul. I think that hurts something else. I don't know. This is like so odd. It's just such a random like thing to say.
I know. It's such a great mystery.
Is it her dad? No, he's pretty dead. Her family can't just keep on coming back from the dead. I think you only get one of those.
Times?
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe the Venom did something. Or they're trying to turn a Venom back into a not a Venom. Because it says that what they do corrupts their soul.
Yeah.
So maybe they have caught one, but it's not like they're torturing one. They're actually trying to like bring it back. I don't know, to whatever the person was before they got corrupted by wielding directly from the ground or whatever. But that seems really dangerous just to bring a Venom directly into Basgiath. So I don't know. That's the only thing we know about like people's souls so far.
Well, thank you for your predictions. That's all I can say. Okay. Yeah, so Caroline shows up and she's like, I'm sorry I'm late. And he's like, punctuality is appreciated. And then Caroline
this
shoots a glare.
Me even more. I'm like, what is she doing here?
Yeah, she shoots a glare at Violet because she still doesn't like her, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whoever. Who cares? We don't care about you, Caroline.
And she didn't look hurt.
No. And Xaden said, must be visiting another cadet from First Wing. Which, why would Nolan go
have to like
meet
escort
her, right?
her there?
No.
Yeah.
Nolan looks like he's about to burn out himself. Have there been more injuries than usual? And she says, not that I'm aware of. Riddick thinks they're using Nolan for interrogations. But I'm not sure if he was serious or not. It's hard to tell with Riddick. Anyways, she suddenly thinks something happens. Oh, no, that's right. Because she gets into the cooler air, like closer to the archives. Because they're passing through the healer's quadrant right now.
Right.
And she recognizes the grief resonating in her chest. And Xaden tries to ask what's going on. At first, she doesn't answer. But then he's like, you can't expect more than one-word answers from me and not give the same. And she's like, okay, you have a point. So she explains how her father loved this place. He was ecstatic when my mother was assigned here because it meant that he'd have the full resources of the archives. Not that he didn't love maintaining the records and libraries at the outpost we were stationed at, but to a scribe, this place is the pinnacle of a career. It's their temple.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then he says a well-guarded one as he chooses to discuss, look at the sleeping scribe. Is this the first time it's this scribe who sits outside sleeping is mentioned?
That he's sleeping, yes, but that there's scribes that guard
sit out, guard it. It's not the first time. Okay.
Yeah.
So she says, promise me you'll be on your best behavior. And then in his head, she says she's an old friend. And he's like, so is Atos. And then he's like, if she's a true friend, then she has nothing to worry about. So anyways,
and then, yeah.
She says, look, if she was going to turn me in, she would have done it when I requested the Fables of the Baron last year. And he's like, you what? And then now he's just like, again, man. He just gets mad every time she puts her life into it. She would not have known back then.
And you know what would have made her known? If you had told her.
True. Like, you could have killed her last year, Xaden.
That's what I'm
just
hearing.
saying. So then she says, before Mira gave me the book at Montserrat, I requested it, and I didn't think anything of it at the time, but no one showed up at my door. No one hauled me off and divested me of my head because we are friends.
What a great line. Divested me of my head is great. Just such a great way to say that.
It's like just casually like, we're going to take your head now.
Yeah.
Anyways, so she signs like he's with me because when Jasenia approaches, she's like, shit when she sees him. And then she says to him, stop scaring her. And he says, I'm just standing here. And she's like, that's enough. Trust me. So then Jasenia asks, do you find what you're looking for? Violet says, no, it's all too recent and vague. And then she says, maybe we should shift to something about the history of the wards in general. So then Jasenia says, give me a couple minutes. I have an idea. And then Xaden signs, thank you for helping us. And then Violet's like, you can sign. I do notice that it seems like all of the...
That's what I noted.
Oh, okay.
This is the third marked one who knows sign language. And
right.
every
and
time
she
she's
seems
surprised.
So it can't be like everybody doing it.
Right, so it was Liam and then Imogen.
Yeah.
And then Xaden. So did they who? How? What? Is this
I don't have an answer to that question. I just wondered if they had like this is their way they had like secret.
That's what I was thinking too. Or like maybe like I know that every province or like okay, like at least in the real world, like different parts of a country are run differently. So maybe like different provinces in Tirandor have different educational
maybe
things,
they just
and maybe in
taught them
Tirandor they learn sign language.
Yeah,
like
that could be because it's been all the Tirish people. So.
Yeah. Anyways, but I'm like this. Like it does seem like everyone knows sign language, but then she's also always surprised, so it can't be.
Everyone. I know. Yeah, it does seem weird that she's always surprised. If it wasn't because it's not that. Yeah. That it's rare. Sorry. Yeah. So he said she's like, you can sign, and he says, you speak Tirish. One is far less common than the other, which is true, but she also speaks other dead languages, so...
Yeah.
Okay, so they wait, then Jasenia comes out, she hands her 2 books, and she's like, try these, and then also I returned yours, thanks for letting me read it. Well, she's handing over a bag, obviously, because the bag has the books in them, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how she transports the books. And then Violet asks her about the Fables book. She says, what did you think about it? She thinks to herself, whatever she says next will seal her fate with him.
Mm-hmm.
So then Jasenia replies, solid folklore with good stories. It was a limited printing, clearly done on a press, but not so limited there wouldn't have been one submitted to the archives at publication. The look she gives me is full of expectation. It's an odd subject matter to leave out of the archives, don't you think? And then Violet's like, I do. Xaden tenses. And Jasenia says, as I said, intriguing. I'll see you Saturday after next. And then they leave. And they mentioned that the little guy outside is Nasia, who has started to snore. Nasia?
Yeah. And this is where Xaden finds out.
That it's the Fables of the Baron.
Yeah, because he didn't know that until right now, that's the book she gave to Jasenia.
Yeah, he's a little bit like, with that text, she could have turned you in. And Violet's like, and if I report that she's not recording my request, she'll be in Markham's mercy. Trust has to go both ways to mean anything. And he says, both ways, but you're shutting me out while I'm trying my damnedest to open up to you. I mean, yeah.
And this is when she thinks, says the man who's never so much as told me he loves me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm like he's leaving her these letters, but oh, whatever.
But it is a lot to demand that of her when he won't say it. Like, that is actually dumb. And I keep forgetting that happens. Because I'm like, I feel like he obviously shows it, but he can't be like, you need to tell me that when he won't even say it himself.
Yep. Yeah, he's being dumb.
dumb.
He's being a little dumb.
Anyways, so then they're kind of having a little argument here. She's like, sure, as long as you can keep your secrets. Has it ever occurred to you that this, between them, is all because you don't trust me? You expect complete blind faith without giving it? It goes both ways. And he's like, I'm the one who doesn't trust you. And then he's like getting mad. He's like, I'll see you later. I have to find Bodhi. So he heads off. And she's like, that's all you can say? And he says, no good can come from of the things I want to say right now, Violet. Which, I understand this. Like, when you're mad and you know the things you're going to say are not things you would normally say, and you don't even really feel them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just the anger has you say things that are not actually the way you feel. They're to hurt.
Yeah.
They're to, cause that upset.
Definitely.
So he doesn't want to say anything. He just says, so instead of digging a deeper hole with words I'll regret later, I'm going to take some space and do something productive because this isn't.
Yeah.
And then she does think I'm going to do the mature thing and let him have his space, which is the mature thing.
Yeah.
All couples should do that. Get an argument. Don't insist. This is my advice to all you couples out there. Don't insist on having to hash it out when the person says they need some space, because man,
and sometimes
so much better after space.
Can be like 15 minutes.
Sure, just take a walk around the block and come back with your head a little clearer. Yep.
Yeah.
Yups. So when she wakes in the morning, the other half of their bed hadn't been slept in. His things are gone. She's not happy about it. I assume that there's a letter. It's not mentioned, so.
Yeah.
And she's like worried that he could go off and get killed. And that was the last words they had said to each other were in anger.
Yeah.
That's the end of the chapter.
Hopefully his letter at least says something nice.
I hope so. I assume he writes these letters while he's in Samara and then brings them to her. So he should have had a letter already.
That's true.
Yeah. Cool. So that is the end of this episode. Any closing thoughts or predictions you want to give us?
Let's see. How much of a time skip are we going to get in this next chapter? Like, it so varies. It's like, is it the next day? Is it the next weekend? So it's hard to say. I feel like this thing with Andarna has been put on the back burner for a bit. Maybe it'll come back. RSC has been put on the back burner for a few chapters. Maybe. I
mean, like they said, they're still doing RSC.
Yeah,
but
like,
they said
not been...
some other time they'll, take you again or whatever. So they don't know
exactly.
when that is. Yeah.
So maybe that will happen soon. But yeah, that's all I have for now.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
You can follow us on Instagram and Threads. We most sometimes post on our socials. But, they're a First Wing Pod.
Yeah.
We also have ways to be reviewed, especially on Apple Podcasts. You can leave a 5-star review and we'll read it on the podcast. And on Spotify, you can rate our podcast and you can leave like a comment that we'll read. It's a great way to support the show. Yeah. And, and we'll read your thing.
Yeah. And if anybody's interested in Discord, we haven't really created on it much, but there is one there.
Yeah, you can find the link in the description of the episode.
Yeah. So next episode, we will cover chapters 19 and 20.
Join us next time, writers.
Bye.
Bye.